We've taken time to heal. Now we are ready to get back out there. But we want to be smarter this time. We want to screen the candidates better.
We need an interview process.
Which brings us to segment 4, the red flag interview question. The family discusses a very specific question to ask early on, maybe date 1 or date 2, that acts as a litmus test.
It is a classic job interview question, totally repurposed for romance. The question is, what are your weaknesses? Or where do you feel you need to improve?
Imagine asking that on a first date. You're having appetizers, the conversation is flowing, and then bam, what are your weaknesses?
It definitely catches people off guard, and that is entirely the point. You aren't listening for the content of the answer as much as the nature of the answer.
What are we actually looking for?
We are looking for self-awareness.
And what is the red flag response?
The red flag is evasion. If they say, well, I don't really have any, or if they give one of those fake corporate answers like, I just care too much, or I work too hard.
Right, the humble brag.
Or even worse, if they get defensive and flip it back on you. Why are you asking me that?
Why is that specifically a deal breaker?
Because if someone cannot articulate a single genuine flaw or area for growth, it means they aren't looking at themselves, they have no internal mirror, and if they can't see their own flaws, guess whose fault every single argument is going to be?
Mine.
Yours. Forever. You will always be the problem because they are perfect. It is the bulldog dynamic we talked about earlier, just in reverse.
Now, Brian shares a really funny counterexample here. He says he was once asked his best quality on a date.
This is peak Brian Tracy, by the way.
It really is. What did he say?
He looked her dead in the eye and said, I am unstoppable. I never give up.
I am unstoppable. I mean, if anyone else said that, I would just roll my eyes. But with him, you kind of believe it.
And he meant it. But the lesson he draws from that isn't be arrogant. It's that you want a partner who knows exactly who they are. You want someone who knows their strengths, like being tenacious, but who can also clearly admit their weaknesses. It is all about balance. If you are unstoppable, but you can never admit when you're wrong, you aren't a partner. You're just a steamroller.
Christina brings up a really important modern nuance here, though. She talks about the Tinder effect, or swiping culture.
This is a crucial point. She argues that we have actually become too good at spotting red flags. We have weaponized the entire concept.
We treat people like disposable products on Amazon. Yeah, you choose a little loudly. 1 star. Return to sender. She has a weird laugh. Swipe left.
Exactly. Christina argues that there is a massive difference between a dangerous lack of self-awareness, which is a true red flag, and normal human imperfection, which is just being a person.
So we need to distinguish between red flags and what?
Big flags. Maybe beige flags, things that are slightly annoying but not destructive. We are looking for a human partner, not a custom-built robot. If you reject everyone who isn't utterly perfect, you are going to be single forever.
So the true goal is to find someone who is imperfect but accountable.
Yes. Someone who can say, yeah, I tend to get really grumpy when I'm stressed out, and I am actively working on not taking that out on the people around me. That is a massive green flag. That's a hire.
Okay, so we're interviewing candidates, but how do we find them in the first place?